Welcome back to another edition of Bishop's Breakdown. I'm your host, Bishop. We're going to talk Week 10 NFL, Week 11 college football, WWE, Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NBA Weekly Thoughts. The elephant in the room segment this week is about the Tigers and letting a big-time pitcher go in their history. Power rankings for both NBA and NFL. So let's get it started. Let's break it down. Monday Night Football Week 9 wrap-up. The Cowboys versus the Cardinals. The Cowboys' offense is trash. Like, they're really bad. Their defense is not any better. It might get better after they just traded for a few people. But losing to the Cardinals at home, I mean, that is Jerry's role, right? But I don't feel bad for Cowboys fans because Jerry Jones has been, way out of touch for probably, 25 years. And that's being generous. But, maybe their defense will look better. Maybe their offense will be better because the defense is going to stop people. I mean, Dak did go 24 for 39 with 250, one touchdown, one pick. But you got Jacoby Brissett on the other side going 21 for 31, 261 yards, a touchdown, and no picks. Dak makes $60 million a year. Brissett makes, $6 million a season? Get it together, Dallas and Mr. Jones, because right now you're paying for mediocrity. 3, 5, and 1. That's terrible. Like that in your division, you're last place, and you got the Giants, the Commanders, and the Eagles in your division, and you can't even. No. Like maybe you overpaid for Dak. Maybe you should have underpaid and kept Parsons. Maybe that would have helped. But knowing Jerry, it wouldn't have helped. So we got that out of the way. Damn Cowboys. So I'm going to move on to Monday Night Raw. They announced 2 matches for the last times now. The winner of that faces John Cena in his very last match in December at Saturday night's main event. So far, they announced these 2 matches. So Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. And then you had the former world champion Damian Priest taking on Rusev next week on Raw. Or actually tonight. The main event of Raw last week was The Vision versus the new world champion, the best in the world, CM Punk, and main event Jey Uso. Yeet. This was a match. It was I don't know. I think I've seen this match either in my nightmares millions of times. But this match wasn't good. It was just paint by numbers, a usual tag match, hot tags here. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, this is a main event of Raw debuting your new world champion. It was kind of like just there. And then the opening segment was CM Punk coming out, talking about his title win. And then Jake Paul comes out, and I don't know, it looked like he was going to turn face because the Vision came out there and was beating up CM Punk, and he came out there and helped him. But like that's actually going to happen. It's too early for all that. So Jake Paul comes out at the end of the match and looks like he's going to be on their side, helping fend off the Vision. And then he puts on the brass knucks, and then CM Punk starts to walk, and boom, right in the face. Shocker, right? I know it seems like he was on the side of good, but nah, bro. That's Logan Paul. That's what he does. Plus, if they want to do a face turn for him, it has to be a journey. It can't just be a willy-nilly, all of a sudden he's good. Anybody else, maybe, when John Cena did that, it made more sense for John Cena. But Logan Paul hasn't done anything in his career to show that he's a good guy. He's from day one, even when he was trying to be a good guy, and then they realize he's better at being a bad guy. So they need, why would the audience even believe that Logan Paul is a good guy now? I mean, especially with Survivor Series coming up, they need, 5-on-5 for the War Games match. So he fits better with the Vision than he does with CM Punk and Jay and probably Jimmy and maybe LA Knight or something. One more thing about Monday Night Raw. The Stephanie Vakir and Nikki Bella segment in the back, it was cringe as F. I know Stephanie's English isn't the best, But it just came across as she wasn't even believing what she was saying. Talking about how Nikki Bella is the GOAT or, the greatest of all time and all this other stuff. Like, seriously? If she don't believe what she's saying, why would me or anybody else watching believe that too? So instead of going through all the NCAA football games this week, I'm just going to do a game of the week or my game of the week. The Indiana Hoosiers versus Penn State Nittany Lions. Fernando Mendoza. Remember that name. Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback for the Indiana Hoosiers. Myers locked up the Heisman Trophy after that performance this weekend. They were down by 4 points. There was less than 2 minutes to go. He drove them 80 yards with a couple rushings, with passing, and then he throws a dart in the back of the end zone to Omar Cooper Jr. with with the best catch this season and maybe of all time. He dragged his off foot and still had his other foot up long enough to touch before he was out of bounds and still maintain the catch all the way through. Like, you need to go out of your way. Like, look up YouTube, go to Omar Cooper Jr. versus Penn State touchdown catch. And it's pure cinema. So the showdown at the end of the year, Ohio State versus the Indiana Hoosiers for the Big Ten championship game, which possibly means the winner of that game will go into the college football playoffs, will be their biggest test of the year. And I'm hoping Michigan beats Ohio State and then we don't have to worry about that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just being real. So Hoosiers, Buckeyes, Big Ten championship game, sign me up. Week 10 NFL recap. The Lions offense looks stacked against the Commanders defense, which, let's be fair. They're at the bottom of the league in defensive stats. So, yes, the Lions went into Washington, D.C. and took out the Commanders. I know they don't have Jaden Daniels. I know they don't have Scary Terry, but, hey, you got to play who's in front of you. And they look good. And hopefully it translates to multiple. Let me say that again. Multiple playoff wins this season. So let's talk about the Berlin game. 8:30 in the morning, way too early. But, hey, I love football. So Colts versus Falcons. The first game overseas that didn't disappoint. Most of them are either a blowout or for some reason they're jet lag and they just don't know how to score touchdowns. They love the field goals. They think they're playing soccer and just kicking in the uprights or something. But Jonathan Taylor looks like a man playing against children, like varsity versus JV. Like, he put up 244 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. One of the touchdowns went 83 yards. He is the man. And the Colts are benefiting from his running ability. I'm going to have power rankings coming up later, but the Los Angeles Rams look good too. But the 49ers look lost and have no identity. Like, what they are, who they are, if they're a running team, if they're a passing team, if they're a play-action team. I like Mac Jones, and he's not doing anything super wrong, but I don't think that offense was built around him, and I think they built the offensive line and the pieces they have, and receiver, tight end, running back, around Brock Purdy. And maybe their offense will look better when Brock Purdy gets back from injury next week, is the rumor has it. And I don't know. But this is how crazy the NFL is. Here we go. The Bills, last week, beat the Chiefs. And then this week, they're like, we're playing Miami, and they got smashed. Like, the Dolphins look like a Super Bowl contending team, which, let's be real, they are not. The Texans lose C.J. Stroud to injury, put in their backup, and beat the Jags, which, last I checked, had a pretty damn good defense. But I guess anything's possible any given Sunday. And then the Jets newsflash, they won back-to-back games after losing 7. Like the first 7 games of the season were L's. And now they're back-to-back. I guess Justin Fields is finding his rhythm, and that could be dangerous. They could play spoilers for a lot of teams in the AFC. The Seahawks look like Super Bowl champions behind Sam Darnold, putting up over 35 points in the last 2 games. Only giving up like 24, 25, less than 25 points a game in those games. So the power rank is definitely going to be different this week. But this just in, congratulations go out to my favorite tight end, Rob Gronkowski, Big Gronk. He signed a 1-year contract with the Patriots so he can retire as a New England Patriot. Well, big man, you deserve it. So the NBA, the great National Basketball Association. Guess who's looking good again? The Detroit Pistons. They're looking like a playoff team right now. I know it's super early, but you can't deny the numbers. In the last 6 games, during their winning streaks, they've won 6 in a row. Cade Cunningham has put up 30 points, 10 assists, 21 points, 18 assists, 33 points, 8 assists, and 31 points, 10 assists, 34 points, 10 assists, and then 26 points, 11 assists, which is an average of 29 points per game and 11 assists per game. He's only scored less than 20 points once this season, and that was during a blowout game where he was only played like 28, 29 minutes against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Monster numbers for the young fella from Oklahoma State. Starting this week, I'll give you my top 3 players in the hunt for MVP and 1 sleeper. So my picks so far of the season, again, super early, but that's what we do, right? So I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. So he's averaging 33.8 points per game, 12.3 boards a game, and the Bucks are 6-4. Then we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's averaging 33.2 points a game, and his Oklahoma Thunder is 10-1. Then you got Nikola Jokic, averaging 25.2 points per game, 13 boards per game, 11.9 assists per game, which, let me see, that's a triple-double. He's averaging a triple-double. And the Denver Nuggets are 7-2. My sleeper, as I stated earlier, is Cade Cunningham. He is leading the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference with an 8-2 record. Like, it's wild. Granted, it's only 10 games into the season. But numbers don't lie, and they're looking good, and maybe they can maintain this. I mean, there won't be the number 1 seed by the end of the year. But I think they could take this momentum into the playoffs, and I wouldn't want to see the Detroit Pistons in the playoff series. A 7-game series with Cade playing the way he's doing, and Duran. No, there's no way any Eastern Conference team wants to see the Pistons in any round of the playoffs. Mark my words. So here's my favorite segment of the week, the elephant in the room. Tigers pitcher Tariq Skubal last season was offered 4 years, $80 million, which comes to roughly $20 million a year compared to other pitchers. I went to sportscasting.com, and they gave me a list. Zach Wheeler, $42 million. Jacob deGrom, $37 million. Blake Snell, $36.4 million. World Series MVP, Yoshito Yamamoto, he makes $28 million. Skubal's a potential two-time Cy Young winner. He's a finalist this year, and the results are for the NL and the AL are on tomorrow, or the 12th, so in a couple days. Compared to the World Series MVP, Yoshi, his ERA is 2.21 with 240 strikeouts. Yamamoto ERA is 2.49, right, with 201 strikeouts. So on paper, with these numbers, Screwball should be making way more than him. You know, like he should have at minimum $30 million a year. Like that should be the offer sheet. And the fact that the Tigers offered him $20 million a year, it is an insult to him. Screwball will be 29 on the 20th of this month. And that's comparing to, you know, ages of pitchers right now. Like Justin Verlander, he's in his 40s. Max Scherzer, who pitched in the World Series this year, is 40. Tigers need to stop lowballing him or trade him. You know, like if you're going to lowball him and you're going to and you don't want to pay him, then you might as well part ways, because he should be making $30 to $40 million a year, like no doubt, in my mind. I mean, Tigers want to go 3 for 3 making the playoffs. Pay this man. But, you know, this is what the Tigers do. They're notorious for letting good pitchers go and then looking next season or even a couple seasons after they let them go and be like, oh, look, turning on the World Series and be like, hey, he used to, yeah, that guy celebrating. Yeah, he was a Tiger. Like, you could have had him. And I'll give you 3 names: Scherzer, Verlander, and Price. All won World Series after leaving Detroit. Just to make it even worse, they were all on the same roster at the same time in 2014? Like, don't make this mistake again and lose Screwball to what? The Yankees or the Dodgers or the Cubs or the Mets. Like, there's so many teams that will pay this man whole bunch of money to have him on their roster. Just imagine him being with the World Series champions, the Dodgers. Like, they're three-peating. With Screwball in that starting rotation, you know, they're going all the way. And then, so he is the type of guy that you don't just trade. This is the guy that you say, okay, we got him. Now we're going to build a house around him. Like, he is the foundation of the pitching staff. Like, he's not a guy you just say, we can do or do without him. Like, Jason Passan of ESPN says, Screwball wants to stay in Detroit. He loves Detroit. He loves the manager. He loves the staff. So stop dragging your feet, Tigers, and give him whatever he wants, because in the long run, it will be helpful for that team. Best believe, pay Screwball, or he's going to leave, and you're going to look on TV in October and say, that could have been us. And now you're sitting at home, and he's winning world titles. All right, I got that out of the way. But Tigers, come on, bro. Don't do this. Please, for the love of everything, please don't do this. So here's the NFL power ranking of the week. Seattle Seahawks, number 1. Sam Darnold. He went 21 for 25 with 330 yards, 4 touchdowns last week. This week, he went 10 for 12 for 178 yards and 1 touchdown. He didn't have to do much like he did the week before because, you know, his defense decided, let's pick up these footballs, 2 fumble recoveries, and they ran it out for 6. So he didn't have to score multiple touchdowns because his defense was like, we got you, bruh. Then you got the Indianapolis Colts. After that stinker they had last week, Jonathan Taylor took it upon himself. The leading rusher in all of the league went bonkers this week. Went 244 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. If you had him on your fantasy team, you would have been smiling because him by himself put up 50 points by himself in fantasy. 50 points. I mean, you got great quarterbacks having great games and giving you 30, maybe 35 points. He had 50, right? Wild. The Lions, Detroit Lions, after the heartbreaker last week against the Minnesota Vikings. Side note, real quick. J.J. McCarthy, he just doesn't lose in the state of Michigan. But moving on. Detroit came to play against the Daniel List Commanders. Jared Goff, here's a stat for Jared Goff. 25 for 33, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And then Gibbs, a.k.a. Sonic the Hedgehog, 172 total yards of offense, 3 total touchdowns. And then, not to be outshined, my boy J-Mo, 6 catches, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Wild. Go Lions. Denver Broncos. Not a pretty win at all. Not even the slightest. But they played against the 2-7 Raiders, and I guess, you played down to your competition, I guess. But they did just enough to be 5-0 at home. In the end, it's all about the dubs. But their big test will come next week against the Kansas City Chiefs after they had their bye week this week. So they're going to be rested and even more healthy than they were the week before. So Denver Broncos and Bo Nix needs to come to play. They can't play like they did against the Raiders, or they're going to get blown out by Patrick Mahomes and them. And last on the list, but not the least, the New England Patriots. Drake May, a.k.a. the only Drake that matters, put up 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Trayvon Henderson, the starting running back, went 147 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. They're 8-2, 5-0 on the road. 5-0 on the road. So they can go out there and win on the road if they have to do it during the playoffs. And I think the pedigree there, the offensive line is doing what they need to do, keeping Drake upright, keep putting holes for Henderson to go through. They're going to be dangerous, and they're leading the division right now. So all that looks like is they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I see y'all. Yeah, I see y'all. So the NBA power ranking so far. Yeah. Number 1, got to go with the OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. Not they lost their first game of the season, so they're a lowly 10-1. Shaw's playing like he never stopped playing after the finals, playing out of control, and they're 4-0 at home, and they're the defending NBA champions. Then we got the Detroit Pistons, 6-game win streak. Cade is playing like an MVP, as like an MVP caliber talent, like doing everything on the court to help his team compete. Like maybe this will translate to a decent run in the playoffs. I'm hoping that Cade gets the opportunity to go into the playoffs and shine for the world to see. Then we have the San Antonio Spurs. You got Wemby, a.k.a. Unicorn, a.k.a. you're too damn tall to have handles like that. Then the Denver Nuggets. All I'm going to say about them is you got an almost 7-foot tall center averaging a triple-double. And out of the 9 games they've played this season, he has 6 triple-doubles. Like, he's a center, and he's throwing out dimes, getting rebounds, and scoring points at an alarming rate. But who is surprised that Jokic is doing what he's doing? Maybe 3 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. But right now, it's normal. Like, it's a normal thing that Jokic does. And last but very not least is the LA Lakers. Still, no LeBron James. He's the 3rd best player that I've ever seen in my life. But they're 7-3, leading their division. You got Luka Magic averaging 37 points, 10 boards, 9.5 assists per game. And then you got Austin Reeves. Let's be real. He's the real White Mamba, averaging 31 points a game. Like, that's wild. Like, if you had told me a year ago that this man on that team would be averaging 31 points a game, I would have thought you were out your mind. But with LeBron James being sidelined, Luka needed a 2. He needed somebody to score, not 31, but somebody to contribute in high level because he was missing out on the 28, 29 points per game that LeBron James would have brought to the table. And Austin Reeves is doing that. So just imagine once LeBron James comes back, he doesn't have to score the 29 or 30 points a game. He can just let it do what it does and just provide other things like rebounds, assists, 12, 14, maybe even 17 to 18 points a game. And the Lakers could be dangerous. And I'm not a LeBron James hater, so I would love for the Lakers to win the title this year. I think it would be amazing that Luka would get his first title and LeBron James couldn't go out as the best. So I'm hoping they can continue doing what they're doing and Austin Reeves will keep contributing because I know he can. So there you have it. Episode 3 is in the books. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my page. Got any questions or comments, you can email me at bishopsbreakdown@gmail.com. And if I get enough questions, I'll answer them on air next week. So as I end every episode with this quote from the never seen 17, the last real champion, John Cena, who has 4 appearances left before you won't see him no more. So just remember the last time is now. But like he said, control the controllables. Don't worry about something you can't control. Focus on things that you can control. Well, this is Bishop. Whether it's on the court, on the gridiron, or in the ring, I will break it down, Chris Jericho style. Deuces.